Hey there, gorgeous. My name is Melissa, and I am also known as the Taropist, and I am going to be your tarot card reader. Guys, we are going to do a general collective reading, whatever comes out for any sign, any placement, anytime. Before I get into the introduction here, guys, I do want to let you know that there is going to be a timestamp in the pinned comment below for those of you who would like to jump right into the reading and skip over the introduction here. For those of you who are interested in the introduction, again, I am the Taropist, and anything that you would ever need to know about myself or my channel, you can find either in the description box below, the channel description. You can check out the community tab or my website, which is www.theterapist.com. And guys, again, this reading is going to be general and it will not resonate for everyone. However, if you would like me to be more likely to pick up on your energy in this and future readings, engaging with the channel in some way is a great way to transfer your energy here onto the channel. Ways that are easy to do that are going to be by liking or commenting on any of the videos or the community tab posts. You can also share any of my content, and my personal favorite, and I think the most powerful way for us to exchange energy is for you to click the little subscribe button below. If you are going to subscribe, guys, and you would like to be notified when I do upload or go live, go ahead and click the little bell notification icon to all. I think that's it. I do have personal readings available. However, my Zoom and FaceTime readings are closed for the summer months. The pre-recorded private readings are listed in the description box below, as well as the PayPal, Cash App, and email address that you will be sending questions and payments to. Okay. There is also, I think, an email reading available to you. If you have any questions, guys, you can always email me, or you can certainly comment on any of the videos. Let's dive right in to the reading here. We are going to start out with these energy oracle cards. Angel of Strength. Something about Leo season, by the way. Happy birthday, Leo. I did just do a Cancerian reading. I know today is like the cusp. I don't really know because there's so much if anybody is an astrologer around here, there's so much conflicting information about whether today, the 22nd of August, is a Cancerian or a Leo, and maybe half the day, each or something. Maybe it depends on what time you're born on this day. Anyhow, Leo season, something about Leo season here, and the Angel of Strength, of course, is about spiritual strength and patience. But let's get more. Attachment. Mm. Yeah, it's like there's something about something is taking quite a bit of time, right? And it's because you're learning detachment and patience. And the world is the on the bottom of the deck here, which is like the actual world card in the tarot. Um, so you have the strength card. I don't know what this would relate to in the tarot. The attachment card could be I'm almost getting like, I know storm warning is probably the tower card. There's a need to detach here from an outcome, or that's what you're working on. That's why there hasn't been much of an outcome or much of I want to say I guess we're going into the moonology instead of the tarot, which I was going to do the tarot next, but we're going with this. The world card is about, of course, closing out a cycle, a lifelong cycle, a very huge um cycle in your life. So let's find out more. I am getting something weird about astrology, and I keep getting astrology things coming through. And I don't know a ton about astrology, so I can just give you some information you could Google. But something about a Neptune, and I don't know maybe your Neptune placement. So I don't even know where Neptune would be represented here. It's possible that it's saying something about the sign of Neptune moving, or the planet, a sign, the planet of Neptune moving into a different sign. So you may want to look into that. I don't know anything about that though. So let's move right on. You're moving right on. You could be a Pisces, I guess. That could be the Neptune message. And we do have show the world the real you. Yeah, that's what this is about. So I'm even getting like the attachment here is your attachment to some sort of facade or mask that you've been wearing. The tricky part about facades and masks is we think that that's who we are. Okay. Um, mm, there's some conflicting messages going on here because I think self-discipline and working on character is very and character building is very important. But it's like these things are only useful if you don't lose yourself in that journey. I hope that makes sense for you. But it says show the world the real you, like the part of you that you think this is why. There's parts of you that were not you, that you are supposed to be healing and transcending from. But then there are parts of you that you think are a part of what you were supposed to be evolving from that are actually the realest you that are supposed to be being shown to the world here. That is going to be different for everyone. So let's get more. It says believe in the impossible. It's like I'm watching people on TikTok, and the most successful people that I see on there, there are definitely people, by the way, doing very well on TikTok, um, that are not being very authentic at all. But there are the people that I see not just succeeding by way of numbers, but I think, of course, by numbers as well, by productivity, by views, likes, and but most importantly, financially, because I think that's I hope to have this be the source of your freedom in this lifetime is I think the idea or the goal. Some people are just looking for attention and maybe they're already successful financially, so they didn't need that type of freedom. Um, whatever anybody's doing it for, none of my damn business, and good for them. Like good for everybody. I don't care why you do what you do as long as you're expressing yourself in the ways, even if it's not it authentically. If you're expressing yourself in the ways that are beneficial for you, for the best your best life, great. I don't care if it's not for your best life either. I don't really give a shit what people are up to. But what I do am saying here is that you're being specifically asked to be more authentic in your delivery here, because the people who are the most successful in the way that I view success, and I hope people will start to view success. There are a lot of people who do view it this way as well, but I view success as the way you feel on a daily basis. So feeling good. Of course, we're gonna have bad days and things are going to happen, and facing reality and kind of being authentic in those moments and not like being constantly positive when things aren't fucking going well. You don't need to be fake here. They're saying the most success that you will find in your life, and I think that most people will find in their lives, is simply by being free to be who you truly are. Okay. The success is the happiness that comes with the ability to be who you truly are without having to tiptoe around motherfuckers and walk on eggshells and shit. And I guess I'm in a cussy mood today, and somebody must be listening that hates that I cuss or something, because God feels like he's rubbing it in one of your faces. Jesus. You're very close to achieving your goal. So hold tight here, baby. Hold tight here. But I want to say again, whatever you're doing needs to be done with more authenticity. And maybe that's why I'm feeling so cussy. Because maybe I do try to hold it all together for some of these folks who just can't wrap their head around authenticity. They're just too busy trying so hard to appease the masses or fit into some sort of box that they were put into as a young child. And they judge others harshly because they're judging themselves harshly. And this is what the divine is saying, that maybe your inability to be very authentic in whatever it is you're doing is also causing you to judge others harshly, because you're not even letting yourself, you're not even allowing yourself the freedom to be. Communication is key here. Something about, well, it is Gemini. It says new moon in Gemini. And I'm kind of getting off on a tangent here, but you're very close to achieving your goal. It's like as soon as you can communicate clearly, authentically, and I am doing some um why can't I come up with this? Well, solar plexus, actually, because that's what wants to come out. Solar plexus work or meditations could be very helpful for you, or yoga even. But the throat chakra is actually what they want you to work on here, is healing your throat chakra, or your ability to just communicate clearly and freely without feeling the need to restrict what's coming out of your mouth. Now, whether that means letting a little bleep or two out of your mouth, because sometimes the way to know that a human being is not speaking to you in filters, what does that mean? One way you can tell if a human being is being authentic with you is by the way they allow cuss words to come flying freely out of their mouth. This means this person is not holding anything back. They're not restricting what they're saying. They're not deceiving you in any way. So this is coming through for me now. While I've seen all the things about cussing being meaning you're intelligent, what I haven't seen, and this is what's coming through, is that listening to somebody cussing kind of consistently is a good way to let you know that you're being communicated to authentically. Okay. I hope that makes sense for you. And we're going to go into the tarot here now. But so maybe just go around and start cussing like a sailor, or what they're you could do that as a practice at home, but they want you to even literally sit in the mirror and do a this is I've never had this come through before. This is an interesting um exercise that they would like you to do, and it's sit in front of a mirror and splurt, that's a weird word that doesn't actually is not a word, but blurt out everything that you've been holding in. Okay. There could be cuss words involved with this. You don't have to sit and cuss in the mirror. But this is like anything that you felt ashamed to say aloud, even to yourself, but certainly to others. They want you to sit in a mirror, in front of a mirror, and blurt out all of this that you've been holding, get it off your chest. Okay. I do feel like something in your life could have occurred here where you felt like you weren't able to communicate your side of the story. And so sit in front of the mirror and communicate your side of the story to you. Okay. There's something about this that's going to help with your throat chakra healing and opening. And then you're going to by the way, it's going to come out a little messy, a little crazy, or a little emotionally charged or less regulated than you'd like it to in the mirror here. And they're saying that if you can get this done in the mirror by yourself, making sure that nobody's around, that you will now be able to communicate clearly, effectively, and in a regulated way. I hope that makes sense for you. The um the Hermit card. Yeah, so that is what it's saying, is like because of, well, I do think that this hermit card has been coming out a lot lately, and I do feel like there's a lot of people entering that kind of hermit mode, or what I like to refer to sometimes there is hermit mode without the dark night of the soul, and some people are entering into the dark night of the soul where you dive deeply into the wounds or the authentic places of yourself that you've maybe been running from your entire life. It's like you're entering the darkness to find the light. Okay, something about that. And the light is kind of like what is going to illuminate the path for you on the right path. Okay, let me get more here. I do feel like you're on a very spiritual journey to home, to your homeland, to where you're meant to be. And again, I feel like whatever it is you've been pursuing, it's like attachment. It's like letting go of the way you thought it was going to look. By the way, I do feel like you're going to be very successful in whatever this is. In fact, I feel like you have figured out what it is that you're here called to this earth to do. Speaking of which, she always does bring up, don't forget that, especially if you are an earth sign, you could be a Virgo or a Capricorn here. You could be any sign, by the way. But if you have earth highly aspected in your chart, or in a general sense, if you have some root chakra healing that's needed, or period, point blank, I think all of our chakras can be nice and healed out in earth. And they are asking you to get out into nature to do some of this. And by the way, when you get out into nature, please don't have on hiking boots, gloves, jeans, and a leather jacket. Okay, because there is a need for you to be as undressed or as naked with earth as earth is with you. Okay, don't go out there butt naked. You can get in trouble for that, unfortunately, even though it is the natural way of the world. But try to get as much of your skin touching the earth as you can. So barefoot would be a great, maybe wear something that can easily slip off. But they are saying get into the woods. Sometimes I get that we need to get into the water, but this is asking you to get out into the woods, into the mountains, near trees, and any type of wildlife. I am getting an elk here. So if you do have like a deep woods or an area where you may see moose or elk, it's like the divine is going to bring you a spiritual guide, by the way, in the form of a moose or an elk or something that's not very commonly sighted. so that you can understand the message that I am bringing to you today is very divinely guided. So it's like they're going to bring a divine guide in, and this can be as small as a moth, a caterpillar, a butterfly. But for some of you, there's going to be an actual moose or an elk that is going to provide confirmation of this message. And I'm not even sure, except for that, I do believe whatever you're pursuing here, you've been doing so with patience and learning a lot on this journey and lessons in this. But I think the most important imperative message or lesson in all of this is for you to be authentically you. And that means that you might let a little message out that might offend a motherfucker, or a word out that might offend a motherfucker. But the message is important, and that's why you're feeling drawn to do it. And if you with your ego keep trying to what's this word, customize it, if you keep trying to customize it for you to sound cool, you're not getting the message out at all, and the person isn't receiving what they need to. And if you're out here judging people for cussing or whatever it is you judge people for, it's because you're actually judging yourself for not being able to be as real as those motherfuckers. Okay, once you are able to get into this space of truly being authentic, where you're not so worried about what the world thinks of you, you're going to be able to lead a very large crowd. You are meant to be a leader. You have a very powerful sacral chakra. And they're saying that again, you have experiences that again you're trying to make them sound fluffy, or even, let me just say, possibly there's a scenario where you've made a situation in your life, when you talk about the message, it's like you try to make it sound either worse than it was, or you make it try to make it sound more important than it was, or there's something about it, right? That there's an egotistical layer to this. And I'm not trying to dog on anybody, but the way that you're going to become the leader that you always have wanted to be, or you've always felt that you were, is by being your truest and most authentic self. This means not over or under exaggerating anything for the aesthetics of it. And this includes maybe letting a little cuss word out here and there if there's a vibration of a cuss word in the message. What does that mean? If there's like a profound message and it fuck needs to come through real fucking vibrantly, you dim that message by holding that in. And if it's not a F word or a cuss word, there's something that you're trying to seem very cool, calm, and collected, or the way you send the message is coming out very pretentious, and you don't think you are, by the way. But the message is coming out that way, and it's making you look that way, but you're not even, how do I say it? It's like you don't even, that's not who you are. That's not what you were meant here to do. That's not where you shine or thrive. And I think that you think those pretensions or the way that you kind of act in your facade is what has made you successful. But actually, what you don't realize is the little moments where you've slipped and allowed the real you out is why you've been so attractive. Now, I want to say something about, even if the real you was kind of, what's this right word, charming, or like egotistical. All right, I can't explain what I'm saying here. Even if the realist you is letting that kind of like the dark side, I'm watching like a glare in the eye and a wink, and like there's this, um that is a gift you were given in reality, even if it is sort of an egotistical gift. I hope you understand what I'm saying here, because they're like the where you try to like, yeah, it's like you're even shaming yourself for those third dimensional gifts that you have here. But by the way, in doing so, you're judging yourself, you're harshly judging others, and you look more pretentious and egotistical this way than you ever did when you were winking at folks and hitting on them or something like that. I really hope that you understand this message. The Virgo is very strong here. We also have Capricorn and Aries, very powerful, profound, energies here about financial gain, financial success, financial wealth by leading a very large audience by way of authentic communication, and a strong need again for you to get out into nature. I really want you to do that exercise. I might even try it myself, guys. Where you sit in the mirror and you just go off about all of the things you've been holding close to your chest because you didn't feel like you were safe to freely communicate whatever it is. I want you to safely and freely communicate it to yourself in the mirror. and it's going to help heal that throat chakra so that you're again able to more in a more regulated way communicate clearly and authentically with those who actually do need to hear whatever it is you have to say. I hope this makes sense for you guys. If you have made it this far, don't forget to hit that like button. And of course, subscribe to the channel if you do resonate with my energy. I love you so much, and I will see you guys very soon. Mwah.